This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Welcome, listeners. I'm your host, Dani, and I'm the first-time reader who's going through this 15-book series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we are covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host, Brett, who's a longtime fan of the series, and he's acting as my tour guide on this journey. Before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Jason Enberg to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity, and we're really excited to have your support. We want to acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Aaron Kirkwood. In this episode, we're talking about chapters 25 and 26 of The Dragon Reborn.
Yeah, so chapter 25, we have questions, and 26 is Behind a Lock.
Oh.
Yeah, these ones are pretty fun chapters, I gotta say. I like them.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, there's stuff to talk about. We can kind of start, speculating, and honestly, the way this discussion is gonna go totally depends on your thoughts on, the first chapter.
Oh, you mean every episode?
Yeah. But I mean, it's more up to your interpretation of events versus
let me tell you, I got some interpretations.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited about.
Yes, I certainly do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I got a pretty fun fact for today.
All your fun facts are so super fun.
Oh, I know they are, but this one especially because I had to look up a couple things about the number 13.
I hate it already.
I know you do, and that's actually what it's about. It's why is the number 13 considered unlucky?
Yeah.
So there's a couple...
It's more than being unlucky for me, though.
Yeah,
I've explained this before, right? I actually have a very strong distaste...
Yeah.
Just for the number 13. Numbers in general...
You have feelings toward...
I have feelings
more
about
feelings
numbers.
than the average person has towards any numbers.
Towards any numbers ever.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So let's get into it, because it's kind of neat.
It's funny, because actually in my notes today, I wrote, I knew 13 was a bad number.
Yeah, well, and it's also, it's come up a couple times,
Yep.
and it came up again, so I just kind of had to dive into it. So,
yeah.
Why is it unlucky? Now, first off, it's not considered unlucky everywhere. Typically, it's more so only considered unlucky in Western cultures.
And some people really just, love it.
Yes. In some cultures, too, and just some people consider it lucky. So it's, not a defined thing. And the answer is, most of my fun facts lately, nobody knows. Yeah, why it's unlucky. But there's some theories that are all, shot down by everybody who's, coming up with other theories. But I picked out a couple that make a little bit of sense. So, first off, the Christian influence. So, this is a pretty popular one because in the Last Supper, there were 13 people at the table. So, traditionally, it's held that the 13th person to take their seat at the table was either Judas or Jesus. So, the 13 got kind of carried over into the unlucky or the bad. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
okay.
Gotcha.
Now, the second one is that the mass arrest and execution of the Knights Templar began on Friday the 13th. So that's just a combination of bad things. So the Knights Templar were the people who were protecting the Holy Grail, which was the cup Jesus drank out of at the Last Supper.
Sure.
We've talked about that before.
And I remember that.
Totally, yeah. No, I know you do remember that.
Good,
so, yeah, that's the Sun Grail, right? For the Sa'an Grail.
Right.
Anyways, okay. So they were arrested and charged and murdered, basically. And that roundup began on Friday, October 13th, 1307.
That whole year, man.
Yeah, just
that
all
whole
bad.
Century.
Yeah. And then also the number 13 in general does come up in various cultures, and that's probably because of how lunar and solar calendars work, because there's approximately 12.41 lunations or lunar months per year. So there's 12 true months of full rotations of cycles of the moon, and then there's typically a smaller 13th month, which typically holds some sort of special meaning, but not necessarily good. And then my favorite reason why 13 might be unlucky is because of witches, obviously.
Ah, those witches?
Yeah, now this is pretty good because we have witches, and then there's Wheel of Time witches, and I'll put quotations around that.
Tarvalin witches.
Yeah, so in 1921, Margaret Murray, we're not going to get into who she is, but she promoted the idea that all witches meet in groups of 13, which they call covens. So they could gather in any number, but the ideal number was 13.
Gotcha.
So we got some speculation about 13 witches gathering together.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
To do magical stuff.
Some evil stuff, turn people to the Dark One.
Ooh.
Yeah, okay, so there you go.
Okay. I hated that.
I know you did.
But interesting all in its own. I don't like it for I don't know reason.
Yeah, I know.
It's just a feeling. It's my intuition tells me nope.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yep, not that one.
Not that one. We didn't move into an apartment that was on 113th Street.
Yeah, and I said, why aren't we moving here?
Yeah. Because I can't.
Anyways, not the first time that's come up. But...
No. Quite a few. I've rejected a license plate that the registry gave me.
Yeah.
Because it had a 13 on it once.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah, just
I
like,
was like, no,
just like regular stuff.
I was like, just go get a different one. It was a deal, but I wouldn't have that license plate on my car. Just I wouldn't. So... Yeah. You know.
Totally normal stuff.
Totally regular. I'm regular. My brain is regular. Okay, so last time,
yes,
Matt was a total badass by sheer will.
Yep.
Because he is like still all sick and weak from being healed, and he just like destroyed Gawain and Galad in a fight.
Which is the best. That was fantastic.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. And Elaine and Egwene had their testing, which was pretty rough. Plus, Egwene screwed everything up by having a secret other ter'angreal in the room while she did her testing.
Yeah, and almost like got herself killed by her own fault.
Yes. Yeah, but nobody knows that it's her own fault yet.
Yeah.
She doesn't even tell even Elaine.
Yeah, she's kind of leaving some stuff. Well, and we'll get into that this chapter here, so.
Okay, so chapter 25 is called Questions.
Yes, did you take note of the symbol?
Of course I did.
Oh, like right away or like after the fact?
No.
Well, you say of course, but like half the time you don't...
Not when it's a Lanfear picture.
Okay.
And officially, this is the Lanfear picture.
Yeah, I mean, it only pops up when she's here,
Moon and stars.
Yeah.
That's her symbol. Daughter of the night.
Yeah.
So, of course, that one I 100% took note of. So, we are back to Egwene's perspective. A lot of time is being spent in Tar Valon right now, which is annoying me. I wanted to see what other people are doing in the world.
Well, there's so many of them in Tar Valon right now, so...
I know, but...
And who cares? Like a break. Who cares what Rand's doing? It doesn't matter.
I know. That's my biggest thing is I really want to know. Okay, so she's in Nynaeve's room with Elaine, and they are going over all the information about the 13 Black Aja and the ter'angreal that they stole.
Yeah.
And this is where I write, plus I told you 13 is a terrible number.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So.
Yeah. And not to mention, like, Egwene is on full alert for literally everyone is now Black Aja.
I know.
Like, everybody. You're Black Aja. You're Black Aja.
I know. She's, like, on high alert. She's not doing very well on the suspicious side of things.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was kind of interesting because the episode we did last week with Spencer was episode 13 of season 3.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, except that I would have liked it better if we had planned it out. I would have liked the fact that it was 13 better if it had to do with her testing when she's going 13.
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay.
I don't know if that would have made it better.
And then I could have done the 13 like thing, the fun fact with about that. So.
Yeah.
But here's to not planning at all.
Here's a total missed opportunity on your side because it's not like I could have planned that.
I'm like barely keeping up with life. So,
I know you are.
In the worst way possible.
Okay, so anyways. I think that this is pretty funny because I thought I was suspicious. Like, remember, like, I was on Black Aja Watch?
Yeah, it's
like long before it was a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
Right? So I was, like, the original, but...
And now Egwene's like, you gotta calm down, Egwene.
Yeah.
Because she is, like, firing on... it's just bad.
She wants some help with some of her dreams, but then wonders if Anaya is a Black Aja. And I'm just like... You gotta calm down.
Crazy theory. What if every single Aes Sedai is actually Black Aja, except these 3 girls?
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, there you go.
And then what if they are secretly too?
Spoiled the series. Everyone's just evil.
Everyone. It's everyone.
Yeah.
So, I actually really like this part.
The dream interpretations?
The dream stuff.
I wrote them all down, and we gotta put them out there.
I know.
Just so that we...
Well, and I have quite a few comparisons to Min to make.
Good, okay. Yeah. That's good, yeah.
So, Egwene has been having some interesting dreams.
Yes.
Which, half of them she writes off as regular nightmares, but I don't think those exist for Egwene at this point.
So none of these are regular nightmares?
None of them.
Okay.
I think that everything she dreams is significant at this point.
I love it. I'm on board.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. So... First, she talks about how she sees Shan-Chen women collaring a bunch of Aes Sedai and forcing them to attack the White Tower.
That seems pretty bad.
Yep.
Okay.
So then we have White Cloaks binding her father's hands.
Okay.
Which seems like, where's Pedronile? Remember how in the spring he was supposed to be on his way to Emond's Field, and we haven't heard a single thing about that since the prologue?
I do remember that, yeah. Now, just for clarification, it wasn't Pedronile who was going to be going. It's like he was going to send some people, because he's like the top guy.
I thought he was going to go. He's like, oh, maybe I need to pay a visit to this place.
Yeah, no, he didn't say I'm going to pay. It's like we need to.
Okay, I really think that he's going.
Do you think Pedronile, like the Lord Captain Commander of the Children of the Light, is going to go to Emond's Field?
I do.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
Well, especially with Padan Fain in his ear.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
At no point did I think that he wasn't going.
Okay. Do you want to talk about the Shan-Chen and the whole, like, attacking the White Tower with Aes Sedai?
No, I think that's pretty obvious.
Okay. Something like that is going to happen?
Maybe. I don't know if it's necessarily future telling.
Okay.
Or if it's just, like, these things could happen.
Yeah, like possibilities. We already know that the Shan-Chen have captured some Aes Sedai.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, or things to be cautious of potentially
like
happening.
Warnings,
warnings or something, because I don't think they're as, like, her dreams, I don't think they're as solidified as Min's viewing.
Yeah, they're not, like, set in stone of this is definitely going to happen no matter what.
Min gets a vision when something is, like, set to happen.
Yeah, it's predetermined and it's going to happen. And Gwen's is kind of like foreshadowing it might happen.
I think so.
Cool.
And I think especially with that, like, Terangriel in the room with her while she's sleeping.
Sure.
I don't think it's a coincidence that she has all these dreams and nightmares all last night.
Yeah, okay. Like, we know she's gotten some, but this seems like...
It seems like, and even if she's not touching it, because she's super powerful, and I think she is a dreamer, even though there hasn't been one in a very long time, I think even just being around this Terangriel...
It, like, helps.
It might help.
Okay.
So she's also dreaming about Rand, which isn't new.
No.
And he is reaching for a crystal sword.
That sounds really familiar.
Except that a net is dropping on him, and he's, like, being captured in some way or something.
So, yeah, that makes sense. Do you have any, like,
but
ideas
it's like
about
a
that?
weird silvery net.
Yeah,
like,
and he doesn't see the net coming, so it kind of sounds like some sort of trap.
Yeah, but then some tiny dragons settle on his skin.
This one's a little bit of the weirder ones. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think this is that weird, because remember how we talked about...
Let me read it.
Okay.
Rand kneeling in a chamber where a parched wind blew dust across the floor, and creatures like the one on the dragon banner, but much smaller, floated on that wind and settled into his skin.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound weird to you?
Not in this book.
Okay.
Way weirder things have happened.
I guess so,
like
kind of.
Sky battles?
Oh, that's totally normal. Sky battles happen all the time.
I laughed because when we first talked about how he's heron marked now, he's got the 2 herons on his palms.
Yeah.
And then the prophecy also said that he needed to be, like, branded with dragons, sort of, right? Right?
Okay.
Because he has his 2 herons, and then it's, like, twice marked, and then it's, like, twice marked dragons. And we joked about, I said, has he checked the soles of his feet?
I forgot you said that.
Yeah,
no.
And then we had a whole side discussion about how Rand should get the dragon tattooed on his butt. And he should get butt tattoos.
Are you sure you had this conversation with me?
Yeah.
I have, like, zero memory of this, so I don't remember that.
This is what's annoying me, because you say you're going to quiz me on our fun facts.
Yeah.
On your fun facts.
Sure.
But you don't remember, like, really funny things I've said in our episodes.
To be fair, you say a lot of funny things.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
Butter
my saving grace.
Okay. Anyway, so I wrote in my notes, like on his butt.
I'm glad you gave the context, because that made it a lot funnier. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but so, like, actually on his butt, or, like, maybe what are you thinking?
On his body somewhere.
Okay.
I think he's going to be
kind of like the herons.
Kind of like the herons on his hands, maybe on his arms, or his, I don't know, back. Or, like, you could have, like, the
back tattoo, face tattoo.
Face tattoo.
Yeah. Okay.
That'll make him real badass. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe, like, I don't know.
No. That's good.
It depends how tiny.
Okay.
Because you know how they're, like, tiny creatures, tiny dragons.
Like, compared to what? So.
Compared to the dragon banner? Because, like.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so they're settling on his skin like he's being twice marked for the dragon.
Cool.
That's
I like
immediately where my head went.
Good.
So there's another dream about Rand walking into a dark hole that's like lit by fire or something.
A great hole in a black mountain.
Right.
Yes,
okay.
Not just like a random hole.
Okay.
It's a great hole in a black mountain.
Okay.
We kind of know about a big giant black mountain.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Where the dark one is?
Yeah. Oh, where the dark one is. I thought you were talking about Dragon Mountain. I was like, what is he gonna walk into Dragon Mountain for?
Well, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
No, but with the fires and stuff.
Yeah.
Shale Ghul?
Yes.
Is that a mountain?
Yeah.
Do I know that?
I think so.
Okay, cool.
Pretty sure that's common knowledge.
Okay, cool. Okay. So there's also a dream about him also fighting the Shanshan.
Yeah. Well, confronting.
Confronting them.
Yes.
Okay.
So what if that means fighting? Maybe.
Maybe.
Could be.
Or either this
Talking to them sternly.
I don't think that's it.
No. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It either could be almost like a vision from the past when he like fought like Turak. Or,
Oh yeah.
Or it could be like, you know, I've predicted that they're gonna come back at some point.
You did. That was a
So,
pretty crazy
like,
prediction, but
Yeah, it's all right.
okay. No, I can see where it could be like a it already happened kind of thing.
Yeah, and plus we do learn that a dreamer's dreams about Taviran are very, very significant.
Yeah, and it's like Matt, Perrin, and Rand are all Taviran.
Yes.
So
because she's also dreamed about Matt and Perrin.
yeah, which is pretty cool.
Uh-huh. And here's where my comparison to Min comes in.
Okay, here we go.
Because Perrin was in her dreams with a hawk and a falcon, and she somehow knows they're both female.
Yep.
Same as Min's.
Same.
Like, exactly the same.
Yes.
And the hawk has a leash and is trying to put it around Perrin's neck.
Yeah.
And then Egwene has some, like,
So do you think that
flashbacks about being colored.
No, and that's a good question though. So is like is Egwene's interpretation of the whole like, oh, it's kind of like how she was colored. Is it the same kind of leash situation that Perrin's in, or is it like a?
I just really doubt that.
Okay.
Unless.
Well, because Perrin like
the problem is I don't know what this hawk represents, right?
Yeah.
So if it's somebody who's trying to leash him because he's acting like a wolf.
Yeah, because I was gonna say it's more like
someone trying to like.
Because he can't channel.
Cage him.
Yeah,
in
that makes
some
sense.
Way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The leash makes more sense in like he's a dog / wolf versus because he's not a channeler, so like the collars wouldn't necessarily do anything to him. So.
Right. No.
Yeah.
It's not like that. But then also something that really makes her like say, "Oh my gosh, Perrin has a beard."
With a beard. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Something I didn't mention.
Yeah.
In like 2 episodes ago, is Matt when he was going through his stuff has a razor.
Yeah.
And he shaves.
Yes.
So everyone is like clean shaven.
They are traditionally clean shaven. Yes.
Yeah. So even though he's capable of growing a beard,
he does not.
He doesn't.
Yes, he shaves.
He shaves.
Yeah.
So Perrin has a beard.
Now, Perrin used to shave.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now he's just sort of like embracing the hairiness.
Yeah. Well, it's also kind of like the whole like as a guy growing up, you shave when you can't grow a beard because it looks terrible.
Yeah.
Until you can kind of like start to grow a beard and then you like grow it.
That's fair.
So, like that's a thing that.
Yeah, that is true. Okay. And then there's those guys who like get 3 hairs and are like, I can grow a beard.
Yeah.
And don't shave it.
Yeah. Or me, who I have a maximum length of my facial hair.
Yeah.
So it's like it doesn't grow past the point at all.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so Perrin in these dreams is also leading a ginormous pack of wolves.
Huge.
Yeah.
Far as the eye can see.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of wolves.
It's a lot of wolves.
I think that might be a little bit figurative.
Okay.
Yeah. So Matt is in her dreams also.
Yeah.
But they're weird.
These do sound well, and she describes them as they're even nastier.
Yeah.
Because they do seem like they might be more figuratively versus like.
Well, he's placing his own left eye on a scale.
Yep.
He's hanging by his neck from a tree.
Like they all sound pretty bad. And then we get one that she like doesn't really describe. Something about him and the Shanshan.
Yeah.
And she like, oh, that must be a nightmare. So like, is that worse than the putting your eye on a balance scale and the hanging from a tree?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Can't tell you. But there is one about him speaking the old tongue.
Yeah. And that we saw.
Yes.
So.
But also, she gets these weird little flashes, like she can understand what he's saying.
She does.
So.
Yeah.
I think they have some connection there.
Yeah, and we've kind of speculated about the whole, is it because they're like Manetheren?
Yeah.
But.
The old blood.
Do you have any like predictions / questions, queries, thoughts about the whole Matt stuff here? Because like parents are pretty, I mean, straightforward to a point, but.
Well, the whole placing his own left eye on a scale, like that really does seem to me like some sort of gambling thing.
Oh, okay.
Only just because that's all I know about Matt really right now. Is
like that's the bet or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he's weighing it against money or something.
Sure.
It's a balancing scale.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if it's like his actual eye or if it's like his figurative.
Yeah.
Like part of him. I don't know.
So
they're just too weird. Like I don't know. And I think he's going to be strung up and hung by a tree and that's how he dies? No.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Okay.
I don't really have much to say about these right now.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay. So, Egwene is trying to convince herself that some of these dreams are just regular old dreams, and I really, 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 really doubt that. I've said it before, but I'm saying it again.
Just to drill that in, these are probably all significant somehow.
100%. And
cool.
You're telling me that Robert Jordan is going to put anything in writing
just for fun? Yeah.
Unless it's descriptions of rooms.
Yeah.
And forests. Those things I can leave. But stuff like this is not for nothing.
It's like keep your mental notes.
Definitely.
Okay.
And like some physical notes too.
Yeah, lots of those.
Because they're going to be important. Especially if you're not going to remember ass tattoos.
Oh man, like that wasn't in the book, so I forgot about it. Okay.
Okay. So it turns out that these girls had gone to see Matt after breakfast, but he wasn't in his room.
Yeah.
And I know where he was.
He was out.
He was out.
Yeah.
Kicking the shit out of your boyfriend.
Which is funny, because if he had stayed, then they would have like run into him and he could have like maybe said bye and tried to leave or something.
Yeah.
But
I don't think he would have, because he sort of tried to go anyway.
He did, but yeah. Like, okay, anyways.
Yeah. So we're back to the list of names. And Nynaeve, Elaine, and Egwene have been going over them for quite some time, and they really can't find any sort of pattern to them. And Nynaeve thinks that Varen gave them rubbish on purpose.
Yeah.
Prove her wrong.
Because she's bad guy, right? That's the whole line of thought?
If anyone's a bad guy, it's Varen, so I'm on board with that.
Okay.
I have been questioning Varen more than anyone else, so...
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, so...
There's reasons to, because we have kind of seen through her lens also.
Yeah.
And like not giving Egwene the notes, like what was that about?
Yeah.
But I mean...
And she was like, none of this makes sense, you take it. And
yeah.
So it's like, I don't know.
I know, you're speculative of her, so that's fair.
I am.
Yeah.
So Elaine is trying to memorize the names and says that Liandrin was the only red sister, and all the other Ajas each lost 2 sisters.
Yes.
And no 2 were born in the same city or were the same age. And one of the ones who left, we get, is named Joya.
Yeah.
Which really annoys Egwene because that's what her daughter's name was. But then she scolds herself because she actually doesn't have a daughter.
That's true. And remember when we were in that sequence, I was like, oh, there's a funny thing about that?
Yeah, and then we never got back to it.
Yeah, this is that thing. It's because she was like at that point, like... Joya, yeah. So,
yeah.
But I mean, here's the thing, like, if you don't want that, just, like, don't name your daughter Joya. There
right.
you go. So, is it, like, prophetic? Probably not. Like, the dreams, like,
yeah,
triangle tests.
Right. So, Nynaeve is super frustrated and braid-tugging like crazy, and Elaine says that this is all too neat. The fact that there is no pattern must be the pattern.
Yeah, how do you feel about this? Because she brings up some good points.
I completely agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like so evenly distributed that they had to have a selection to like choose from.
Because even if it was like completely random, you wouldn't get this outcome.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's kind of like that test I remember doing in school where it's like, oh, in a classroom of like 25 kids, statistically 2 kids will be born on the same day.
Yes.
And that was a thing because I was born on the same day
yeah.
as one of the girls that I went to elementary school with.
Yeah.
So it's like ahead of time, as soon as it comes up, you're like, oh my God, I know.
Yeah.
Because that's obviously a thing. And I was born on my mom's birthday.
Yeah.
So like there's that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's got to be I mean, that's a little bit different than this.
Yeah.
But statistically...
It's the whole, like, the randomness is, like... Yeah.
Because, like, the theoretical probability is going to be different than the actual what happens, the actual outcome.
Yeah.
Right?
Or do Black Aja recruit based on where you're from, how old you are, all that stuff? And was it intentional?
I don't think that just anyone can be turned, so... I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially somebody... I just had a thought. Especially somebody like 2 women from the Blue Aja. Like, that just strikes me as surprising.
Why?
Because I know now that they do things like meddling causes and...
It's because...
Whatever. I hate you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Moraine's cause is fighting the Dark One.
Yeah.
But not every blue is going... That's going to be their cause.
Might be a different
maybe
cause.
just because I know Moraine and her cause and how strongly she feels against the Dark One.
Yeah.
I associate blues with being especially strong against... But that's obviously not correct. So we'll just move on from there. But... There's also this list of ter'angreal that were taken.
Yeah.
And Egwene doesn't like this list very much.
It's a very interesting list.
Because mostly all of them have unknown uses and were last studied by none other than Corianin Nadil.
Yes. And I mean, okay, it kind of makes sense that she would be studying. So... Yeah. Just in my mind, it's like...
that's what I said too. But...
Yeah, like she's clearly the one who used to study ter'angreal to the best of her ability, and that's obviously how she was able to, like, disappear this dream ter'angreal.
Yeah.
Like, because she was the one studying them, she just, like, erased the records.
Yeah.
By, like, evaporating the paperwork, I guess, and then, like, taking it and not talking about it.
Yep.
So, but yeah. But we do get a couple cool things here.
Yeah, we get that 4 of them have something to do with sleep.
Yes.
Because I bet that's what Corianin, was that her name?
Yeah, Corianin.
Was good at, was finding things to do with sleep.
Well, she was a dreamer and
if
studying
she's the one studying them, then yeah, she's going to find these ones. But it's
totally makes sense.
But it's also interesting that that's what these Black Aja took.
Yes.
Right?
And it's like on whose orders / directions.
And we know that Baalzamon and Lanfear are both operating in dreams.
Yes, we have seen that.
Really doing stuff. Like, who's to say that the Dark Friends social didn't take place, like...
Ooh, in a dream.
In a dream.
Yeah, because why not, right?
Yeah, because then they don't actually have to transport anybody anywhere.
Yeah,
right?
Because that was a really weird sequence. If you go back and read that prologue, like, there's some questionable stuff that's happening.
There's weird stuff going on.
Yeah.
So, it makes sense to me that the Dark One and, the Forsaken want things to do with dreams. We know for sure that Lanfear is doing stuff in the dream world. We know that Baalzamon, that's how we first found where Rand, Mat, and Perrin even are.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to me that they want stuff to do with sleep.
Yeah.
And it's likely that a lot of those unknown uses probably also in some way have to do with sleep.
Yeah. No, it does definitely make sense. The 3 that we get descriptions for that we also know uses for. So we do get that wooden hedgehog, which is tiny and has to do with sleep. But the 2 cool ones, we've got a fluted rod of black stone, a full pace and length that produces balefire.
And a pace is like a step.
Yeah.
I picture it to look like a meter stick or a yardstick.
So it's like relatively long. So it's like not short and tiny. It's like noticeable. But it's the whole balefire thing we've got a second reference to. Yeah,
extremely dangerous and almost impossible to control, last studied by Varen.
Yeah, so she, like, tried to do something maybe and test it. But, like, okay, whatever that happens. So.
Yeah.
And then, the coolest one, gotta say, we've got the carved cluster of 6-spotted dice.
The one Matt would really like.
The one Matt wants, yeah. So joined at the corners, less than 2 inches across, and it seems to suspend chance in some way or twist it. So it's like also these, because we just did the whole fun fact about like loaded dice and stuff.
Yeah.
These would be terrible to use because like people would know you're cheating immediately.
Yeah. So. I don't think that these dice are the ones that are used. This says it's a carved cluster of dice.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like a figurine.
So you channel into it.
That you channel through it to influence.
And then you toss coins.
Of someone.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, okay, so you just gotta like hide it then. and use it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
All right.
Yeah. So Egwene takes out her secret terangrial, and they're like, maybe Varen missed the fact that these were all studied by Corianin. And they're like, oh, it's so weird that she didn't mention any of this. But I actually don't think this is weird at all, because this lady was for sure in search of something and like made her life out to studying these terangrial and dreams and sleep and stuff.
Yeah.
So like I don't think it's weird that one person studied all these terangrial.
Yeah, and it's not even weird that Varen like left it out, because it's clearly not hidden information.
No.
It's like you can figure that one out for yourself, guys. You don't need Varen to like explain, oh, by the way, look at this sheet. All studied by the same person. Whoa.
Yeah, no, I think that
Same with the ring I gave you.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
I think that even if they went to go look at terangrial that weren't stolen,
yeah, they're all going to be studied by the same woman.
Same person.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just like Nynaeve before, who was like, oh, isn't it weird that Varen didn't think this was weird? And it's like, maybe she did. I don't even remember what it was specifically.
Yeah.
But it was like, maybe she did think it was weird, but knows not to talk to you about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Just because she's not saying something. And I mean, like, I'm the one who's really skeptical of Varen. But, like,
yeah, you got to kind of come to her defense on this one.
These things that they're coming up with, like, it doesn't even make sense. So, whatever.
It's the whole, like, boogeyman's around the corner right now for them. So it's like they're going to be suspecting everyone.
So they consider Varen as a Black Aja. And also Alana.
Because she was acting weird and asked for penance.
She did act weird. But I do think that...
But, like, not... in my mind, it's like, it's just someone who's, like, gonna own up that they messed up.
Yeah.
It's not that weird, but clearly to Aes Sedai, it's weird.
Except that these three girls are not Aes Sedai. Like, who are they to be like... Oh, she acted so oddly for an Aes Sedai.
Yeah, like,
because
who
now
knows?
You're experts on Aes Sedai. Just because the Amyrlin had never really heard of anything like this happening.
Yeah, I mean, if we want to talk about, like, suspicious Aes Sedai who don't share information, let's look at Moraine, number one, from the beginning.
No kidding.
It's like, geez.
Yeah.
But.
I know. So, they also are considering Elida and also Sherry Ann. They, like, literally... are not very good detectives.
Not yet.
Like,
they're working.
Let's just make a list of everyone we know and call them suspects.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how detectives...
And then go to Swan and be like, these are all suspects.
Just because they're literally the only people you know.
Yeah, it's
in
like
the
you
tower.
should include Swan's name on that list too then.
Yeah.
So.
That's not how detectives work. You don't just go, here's everyone I know.
Yeah.
I'm going to suspect all of them. Like, no.
I mean, Elaine does kind of come to Elida's defense, which is pretty neat. Like, she is thinking straight about that.
And then they're like, and not Sherry Ann. Like, she's too nice. And
yeah.
Like, well...
that makes her double suspicious.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't actually. But...
I'm back to the whole, like, everyone's a Black Aja, so...
Yeah, no kidding. So, Nynaeve decides that she will sleep with the terangrial tonight.
Yeah.
But Egwene snatches it from her and says, no, I'm the dreamer. I'll do it.
Yeah. Oh, also, by the way, we got to talk about one thing. They do mention that they don't think that Swan knows that Elaine is involved. So it's like, we got to keep Elaine out of the picture when they report to Swan.
Right.
So, because I had asked you, like, do you think that Swan knows that Elaine is involved? So.
Right. And I answered that question.
You did.
With an answer.
You did answer with a question. Answer with an answer. You answered no.
Okay.
You didn't think that Swan knew because Swan had, like, sent her out.
Yeah.
So.
That's true.
And it kind of makes sense that you wouldn't want her to be involved because Morgaze is, like, all crazy right now.
True.
You know, justifiably, but, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Nynaeve tries to, like, rebut a little bit. But, like, she says, I'm stronger in the power than you are. And then Egwene says, yeah, but only when you're angry. And plus, we don't even know if you can channel in a dream. So, I feel like Nynaeve really needs to work on this.
The whole, like, can't channel thing?
When she's not angry.
Yeah. Well,
like,
and we see the effects of this later, too.
Yes, I have some things about that to talk about.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah. So, Egwene talks them into letting her do this. And then she feels nervous about it. And then notices someone standing in the doorway.
Drum roll.
So they're doing all of this with a door wide open?
No, I think that Else, like, came up and opened the door. And, like, they didn't notice because they're super involved.
She just walked in.
Yeah, she probably, like, opened the door and is, like, just watching them.
Because I know Nynaeve says, like, don't you knock?
Yeah, so she, like, clearly came in and opened the door, and, like, they didn't notice that she, like, opened the door.
I found it so weird. It's like, oh, someone's standing in the doorway. And I was like, they're talking about, like, Black Aja and Terangriel and all this stuff. And you just have the door open?
Yeah.
Like, it just seemed so strange.
Totally normal.
But...
So they're pretty involved in their conversation.
Okay, so it's Else.
Yeah.
And this is clearly where she was headed.
Because we just saw her with Matt.
Yeah, not just.
Yeah, but like, the last time we saw her
earlier
was with Matt.
this day.
Yeah.
And she was either on her way to the Amerlin.
Okay.
Or to someone else.
Yeah, because you kind of speculated that she got, like, sent away from the training grounds, probably.
No. You
Did I say that?
That would be funny if...
Oh, that's what I said. Okay.
I didn't actually speculate. I was like, oh, well, maybe.
Well,
but
I don't know.
Yeah.
We say a lot of things.
We do say a lot of things. Okay. So, Else is just standing there, and Egwene tries to hide, like, her Terangriel in her hand, like in her fist.
Which, like, didn't work.
Not really.
Yeah.
And then she feels that Else was staring at it, and then Else's eyes goes to the paper on the table and tells them that she has a message from the Amerlin.
Yeah.
And I just think, what? Like, none of this made sense to me.
Okay.
So, she tells them that the belongings left behind by Leandrin and the others were being kept in a storeroom in the second basement, and then she leaves.
Yeah.
And Egwene is like, what the fuck? We can't trust anyone, and the Amerlin trusts her?
Yeah.
With this message about Leandrin and the others?
Okay.
When the Amerlin is trying to keep everything super hush about all
like,
of
literally
it?
everything. And she's, like, trying to keep the murders under wraps and, like, everything. So, okay, what's your thought process here?
Well, right away, I'm like, no way Else is actually delivering a message from the Amerlin.
Okay.
Like, I didn't think there was any possible way that this could have actually come from the Amerlin.
Yeah.
Like, there's literally, I still don't believe it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got to talk more here. So at the beginning of this episode, I was like, you got to direct this conversation.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about, because, like, I don't know what your interpretation of events from this point going forward are.
Well, let me tell you.
Yeah.
About who Egwene runs into.
Yeah.
When she chases after Else, who is fucking booking it.
Yes, she's running.
She books it out of there, and
Okay.
Egwene, like, runs down the hall to go find her, follows, like, flashes of white around each corner.
Yeah,
and thinks,
like, barely keeping up.
Yeah, and thinks that Else must also be booking it, because how could she get so far ahead? And then a woman, conveniently, steps out in front of Egwene.
Yeah.
To stop her from chasing Else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And who's that?
And you tell me that Lanfear's not involved in this plot at all?
Okay.
Uh-huh, yeah, I believe that.
Okay.
Not. It's Lanfear, by the way.
So this woman is Lanfear.
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
In silver and white and all stunning, and...
Same thing.
Egwene immediately feels all sorts of jealousy, like she's being influenced to think little of herself and a lot of Lanfear.
And we saw that already before when Lanfear met Min.
Right.
Same feelings.
And Min, who's never been jealous of another woman in her life, started to feel inadequate and insignificant and jealous.
Yeah, so, like, same type of feelings.
It's definitely some kind of influencing...
power thing.
Something.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, Lanfear says it's bold to go running around these halls where a bunch of murders have just been done.
Ooh. Yeah.
And Egwene asks if she's seen a novice come by here. And Lanfear says she doesn't think Egwene will catch her. She was running quite fast and is probably far from here by now.
Makes sense. Okay. What does the mean to you?
Well, it's just like, it's there. She's in on it. Like, I think that Else is a dark friend.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's what we're kind of getting to
now.
now.
I thought that was obvious.
No, it's not obvious.
Oh, okay.
It's not obvious.
I mean, I thought from everything I've been saying that's obvious.
It's, like, not super obvious.
I'm right away so skeptical of Else.
Okay,
I think that she is so impressionable.
Can I try and get your thoughts, just, like, for my sake here? So, you think that Else is a dark friend.
Yeah.
And then Lanfear, like, sent Else with the message.
Yes.
That the dark friend stuff is in the storeroom below the library.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then Lanfear was there to, like, make sure everything goes well.
Yeah.
And then, like, stops Egwene from, like, continuing to chase her.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. No, that makes sense. Okay.
Well, that's the only thing that actually makes sense right now, because the fact that the Amerlin sent a message
Well,
with
a whole
elves,
lot of this doesn't make sense, so yeah.
none of that makes sense. So that's the only thing that makes any sense, is that Lanfear is 100% involved in this message to these girls.
Okay.
So...
which makes, like, the second chapter even worse.
Way worse.
But, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm on high alert.
Yeah.
Like, right away.
Did you notice that Egwene also thinks that, Lanfear glances at her clenched fist with the ring in it?
Yes.
Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense that then they're, like, working together in some sort of way.
Sure. So, Egwene calls her an Aes Sedai, which annoys her.
Obviously.
She shows her annoyance at this, but then tells Egwene to leave now, and gestures her back from the way she came. And Egwene turns to go, but then thinks, like, wait a minute.
Why am I going?
Why am I going? And then she turns back, but Lanfear is gone.
Ooh, okay. So that's also, like, another power thing where she, like, makes her leave.
Yeah.
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 That's like...
and then she does her, like, invisibility disappearing trick.
Does something, yeah.
Takes off.
Something evil and then gone.
She's gone.
Okay. Or it's a ghost. Huh?
A Lanfear ghost?
Yeah, Lanfear ghost. Disappeared. Gone.
No, it's not that.
Okay.
So, that's the end of this chapter.
Yeah.
And then we get chapter 26, Behind a Lock.
Okay, so before we do this...
Dark Friend Symbol.
You also said that you think that Else then is a Dark Friend.
Yeah, and the Dark Friend Symbol is this chapter.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Icon.
That means that she was a Dark Friend when she talked to Matt on the pathway.
Yeah.
And then, like, how far back does that go?
Exactly.
All the way to the farm?
No, I don't think so.
Not that far. Like, when she got to the tower sometime in that?
Yeah,
okay.
I think that she's impressionable.
Yeah.
And...
do you want to do dishes for the rest of your life, or do you want to join the dark side?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would take dark side, too.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, well... How many days have I been scrubbing pots?
Well, because... you do the dishes in this house.
That's true.
And you're doing the dishes forever.
What am I doing in my free time?
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay. More importantly, though, Dark Friend Symbol.
Yes. That's what you've designated this symbol.
Well, that's what it is.
Okay.
Tell me it's not.
I can't. I can't tell you anything.
I know. So it's the dark and the white,
No, I know what it is. It's
okay.
the two faces.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense that it's like the, Black Aja / Dark Friend symbol.
Okay, so getting into this chapter, though, Egwene is in, like, it's like the next moment, and she is checking some empty rooms, looking all around, and then Elaine comes in and fat shames Else about how fat she is, bit. And about how...
couldn't keep up.
Yeah, then she, like, makes fun of Egwene for not being able to keep up with the fat girl.
It's all really terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And then Egwene is all flustered and is like, no, not her, a woman was here, gone, now she's gone, not Else.
I don't know who she was.
I don't know.
Something, must be Aes Sedai.
I don't know where she went.
Yeah.
And then Elaine gasps and goes, what are the soulless?
Like, no, Elaine, not a friggin' gray man.
Yeah.
Like...
and Egwene is like, no, this woman would stand out in a crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Nynaeve goes, this is my favorite part of the chapter, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Nynaeve goes, shut up, Egwene. That's not important right now. You know that chick who we just said can't be trusted? She told us to go somewhere really weird and creepy, so we have to go there right now.
Like, immediately.
Yeah.
So this is, again, terrible. So if we want to, like, relive...
I was so angry. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You're gonna go?
Okay, so considering the fact that these are the girls who got, like, led off by Leandrin into the scary dark forest of the ways.
Lesson.
Yeah, and it's like immediately the first opportunity that someone's like, oh, go to this storeroom. It's like 2 basements down on the left.
Which is so much worse than a regular basement.
And not only considering that, but this exact situation already happened when they were like being brought down, I think, by Sheriam, and they're like, oh, this murder hallway, no one can hear us scream in this one. They're doing the exact same thing again, which makes it doubly worse because if this is Lanfear who like sent Else to like lead them to this storeroom, it's like this is the trap that you would fall into to get murdered.
Yeah.
So...
yeah, or be transformed to the dark side. I don't know what word to use.
Yeah, turned?
Turned, sure.
Yeah, turned to the dark side.
Or stilled, or...
anything, just straight up murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what the issue is? Is that horror movies haven't been invented yet.
Oh, mm-hmm.
These are the people who are like, oh, there's a noise in the basement. I'm going to go check it out.
No, that's what horror movies are.
Yeah.
This is the original.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, okay.
But seriously, like you just talked about how you can't trust her.
Yeah.
So then why are you going to where she said?
Yeah. And it's even like the Amaranth was like, you guys need to use your heads.
Yeah.
Like, you just, like, left with Leandrin?
Yeah.
That was dumb. But hey, if the Amaranth sent her...
Okay. So, that made me angry. I'm mad. So, Egwene puts the stone ring terangrial away in her pouch, but a little reluctantly. And I have to say that she is giving me some serious Matt Dagger vibes with this terangrial.
Ooh, okay, explain.
She is quite possessive of this thing, and she thinks that everyone is staring at it.
It's kind of like a My Precious situation.
It is a My Precious situation.
This dream triangle is mine. No one else's.
No one else's.
I should erase it from the books.
Well, even with Nynaeve taking it and saying, I'll do it, and Egwene immediately is like, no!
I'll do it.
I'll do it! And like snatches it from her.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
It is actually more like My Precious, like
yeah, like a
the
golem.
One Ring.
Yeah, okay.
It is like that, because who knows what this other woman who stole it and erased it from everything was like if it was like
hers,
and
she wants no one else to have it ever. So,
ooh. But
I mean, hey, I don't know. I'm going to go on a limb here, and I think that Robert Jordan might have read Lord of the Rings.
Right.
I don't know.
It's not like he's saying he didn't read it.
I'm not sure, but like, hey, okay.
Anyways, for now that you're saying that actually makes a lot of sense. But it reminded me of Matt with his dagger.
Yes.
When
also.
Rand was like, we could sell that thing.
He's like, why don't you sell your dad's sword?
And he's like, no, no. And he like wouldn't let go of it.
Yeah.
He was like really possessive over it.
Yeah, so very similar.
Yeah, but also the ring thing. That's good. So against their better judgment, they head through the tower to the library and then down to the second basement.
Good.
And this is where I
whole
wrote,
way thinking this is terrible.
And I wrote, that sounds even worse than a regular first basement. Like a basement itself is creepy and scary and dingy and dark.
But it's like basement beneath the basement?
Second basement.
Ooh.
That's bad. So when they get down there, Egwene and Elaine make their glowing ball of light.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yes.
That they can just like do that now. And Nynaeve can't do it because she isn't angry.
Yeah.
And that's bad.
It is bad.
She should work on that.
She can't channel because she's not angry, so okay.
Bad.
Still
she can't
bad.
even make like a ball of light.
Can't do anything.
Can't literally do anything.
Yeah.
So that's bad. But at some point, Egwene feels the opportunity to flow her channel with Elaine's? Is that what I got here?
No. So you're talking about the lightning bolt thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's happening is she has one flow going with the ball of light.
Yeah.
And then she feels that she's like, I don't know, a little bit scared, and she creates the potential for a lightning bolt. So now she's doing two flows at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Yes, this is really important because this is into the magic system where apparently channeling one or more flows is like different things. The number of flows you can channel is all relative to how strong and talented you are.
Oh.
Yeah.
And she's like, it doesn't seem that difficult.
Yeah, so she couldn't do that before. And it kind of makes sense.
Because when she said she felt like she could channel two flows,
yes,
I thought it meant she somehow did the connection
with Elaine.
Thing with Elaine.
Yeah, so not that.
And it was like connecting their two flows.
Gotcha.
But not that. Not that.
No.
Okay.
If she's leveling up in her power, she can do two things at one time now.
Thank you for clarifying that because I didn't get that.
Yeah, that's what it is though.
Okay. So they get to the door that Else was talking about, and I still think that this is a terrible trap.
Oh yeah, it seems like a big trap, and it seems like they just totally fell for it.
Yeah. And there is a lock and a chain on the door, and Nynaeve goes, a lock! Now what do we do?
This is terrible.
Yeah, and then this is why I've made you set up a shot glass.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
Because we're getting pretty deep in these chapters here.
Yeah, because then Egwene goes, are you a witch or not?
Oh, okay.
And then she goes, Aloha Mora! And unlocks the lock.
Yeah.
With the power.
Yeah.
With magic, because that happens in Harry Potter when they're being chased by a troll. This is the first book.
Yeah.
In Harry Potter.
Yeah, okay.
They're being chased by a troll. they get to a door that has a lock on it,
Oh,
and they're like, "Oh no, what are we gonna do?" And then it's like,
but then that's the one where the dog is behind,
and
right?
then the dog's behind it.
Okay.
But then there's also a lot of other instances where someone doesn't use magic, and then somebody like makes fun of them and is like, "Are you a wizard or not?" And they're like, "Oh yeah."
Oh, I forgot I could do that. So why? Okay, I feel like we shouldn't talk about it, but why would there be a lock on a door in a school where they learn that spell? Wasn't that like the first movie?
Alohomora?
Yeah. Like the first, here's how to unlock all the secret doors in the school.
Yeah, I feel like it should have been locked better.
Probably, by like a magic spell.
Except for the fact that there's a theory that Dumbledore wanted them to find Fluffy.
That's a terrible idea.
So that...
Aren't these like 11-year-olds?
Yeah, but he needed Harry to like go and fight the Dark Lord.
Your theory's falling apart here.
It's not my theory.
Okay, whoever made that theory, I want to talk to them.
Well, it's Dumbledore.
Oh, terrible. Okay,
Yeah.
anyways, okay. But yeah, so same.
Yeah.
She does the spell.
Sort of. Except that we need to stop because
okay, let's see that.
Okay.
That's terrible. That's the whole issue with the... Oh.
Okay, so kind of a stretch, but actually not really, because that's exactly what it reminded me of.
Totally relevant.
And you got our shot glasses.
Yes.
And on the recommendation of a listener, I am taking gross shots.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
For fun. This is what we do now. This is life now.
You know, I have less than 2 months.
That's true. We're coming up close.
So, anyway, for the next 2 months, I guess I'm just taking lime juice shots. And you picked these out?
Yeah, I picked the 2 most colorful that my hand could reach without knocking all the other shot glasses over.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the Ibiza shot glass. And I love it. It's so colorful. Yeah, it says music power.
Yeah, sounds about right. And you picked me out Playa del Carmen, Mexico?
Yeah.
And it says 4 tequila stages. I'm rich. I'm good locking. I think it's supposed to say looking, but it's poorly translated. It's poorly written.
Oh, no. Are you kidding me?
No. And then it says, I'm happy. And then after 4 shots, it says, I'm very happy.
That's the worst shot glass. I don't know if we've used that.
I don't know. This is so good. This is a really bad one. I gotta take a picture of this one. It's been a long time since I've taken pictures of shot glasses, but this one is particularly
I'm good locking.
Terrible. I'm good locking. And that's after 2 shot glasses.
Yeah.
And after 3, I'm happy. And then after 4, I'm very happy. And there's a drunk worm in a sombrero.
That describes exactly, yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, there you
go. I don't know why I have to do that.
It's for fun.
Oh, that was fun. Ugh. Okay, so Egwene goes Alohomora on the lock. Yeah. Not really. But seriously, though, she just uses the power and her, like, affinity for metal.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to know that she has...
weaken the chain.
Yeah, so she has earth and fire skills. Yeah. And it's kind of like the whole, like, frequencies. You know how, like, certain sound frequencies can, like...
masculine, right? Or something?
It's supposed to be, like, more prominent in men. But I kind of think of it the same way, like, how certain sound frequencies can, like, break glass. Okay. It's kind of like the same idea with, like, the earth. So...
Sound frequencies?
Yeah, because she says she's changing something to do with, like, the vibrations and the frequencies.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what she says.
Ah, cool. Okay.
So the vibrations of those patterns.
Yeah. I don't think it's frequencies. Like, I don't think it has anything to do with sound, personally.
No. I'm saying it's like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's doing something with the, like, chemical compound.
Yeah, I don't know anything about...
the makeup of the elements. She's, like, changing somehow.
She's doing something. Yeah.
So, and Nynaeve has just, like, created a pry bar out of air?
Yeah, okay, so here's the thing.
Is that what this is? Did I read that right?
Like a crowbar.
But she couldn't have made a key?
So here's the thing. Number 1, the reason why Nynaeve was, like, getting super angry was she was working herself up so that she can channel. Yeah. So that's her thing, is like, oh, this door is locked. I'm so angry at everything. I hate this. No other doors had locks. So she, like, works herself up so she can embrace Saidar and channel. Okay. That's still a bad plan. But that's the only way she can channel is by getting angry. Yeah, I know. And then the secondary thing is, like, she does make, like, a crowbar or a pry bar, whatever you want to call it. But it's like, we saw this happen when Swan, when they first met, like, wrapped her up in, like, the air jelly and then made a dagger.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So
and
Swan
if
was like,
Nynaeve
why
has
would... Yeah.
seen something, then she can do it.
Yeah.
Basically.
And like in Swan's defense, she was like, I don't know why you'd make a dagger. It's better to just like have a dagger if you really want to use a dagger. But it's like not going to do you any good. But it's Nynaeve doing what she knows.
Right.
And she knows to like make something and then use it.
But not a key.
Because
she doesn't know the inner workings or something like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, the chain like snaps super easily because of what Egwene did, not because of the air crowbar.
Yeah.
But that's fine. So they go inside, and there's actually bags of stuff in there, and I'm surprised.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we find out what's in the bags of stuff, and I'm less surprised.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Because at first I went, oh, really?
So
then I went, oh, no, not really.
So on first reading, like, because you were suspicious immediately then, and you thought, like, Elsa's dark friend, Lanfear, Lanfear's getting into the basement. Did you expect, like, a murder trap?
Not
or
a
something?
murder, maybe another kidnapping of
like
some
a kidnap
kind.
bag on the head, like, you're...
Or locked in the room somehow.
Okay.
Or I actually didn't know what to expect.
Just like something bad immediate consequence-wise.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that kind of makes sense, too.
Yeah.
It kind of seems like a crazy plan.
It's weird.
To, like, make Lanfear to make the girls, like, go down to the storeroom.
Yeah, so like, that's why I was like, oh, there's actually bags of stuff in here.
Yeah.
But then, you know, to make a really long story short.
Long, because it's like 3 pages. It's a couple pages of like, oh.
There's stuff in these bags.
Yeah.
So they open the bags, and there's a bunch of, like, old clothes and crap in them.
It's garbage.
Like, it's not actually anything that anyone actually owned.
Yeah, it's garbage.
There's no fucking way. It's like moth-eaten clothes. Yeah. It's all super old. It's literally garbage. And then they start piecing things together because in every bag there is something that points to Tyr.
Yes.
And so there's maps and like trading vessel schedules and...
a bunch of books on customs.
Yeah, and you know, a visitor's guide to Tyr or something stupid. And
a hand-drawn picture of Elaine, Nynaeve, and Egwene walking to Tyr.
Hey guys, check this out.
It's us going to Tyr.
Yeah, and so basically to point to where it looks like they were all placed there. And even though it like looks like clues, like it's also something that's very deliberately been left behind as a diversion.
Okay, so this is the thing. There's like, so this is kind of like the two takes we can take on this. So you're pretty confident that Lanfear led them here, which kind of makes sense.
Lanfear or, I don't know. Okay. Lanfear was involved.
Lanfear is involved some way, but there's a bunch of stuff that's like go to Tyr, but like Elaine said, there's too much stuff. It's not like there was one piece of evidence that's like points to Tyr. Every single one of the 13 bags has a book of Tyr or something.
Among the garbage.
Among the garbage that's like literal garbage clothes.
It's like, it was all placed like that.
Yeah, so it's clearly some sort of like...
Plot.
But is the plot...
Here's the thing. This is what I gotta get
This is the thing.
This is the thing. Because Lanfear is involved.
Yeah.
And we know her distaste for Baalzamon.
Yes, we do know that, yeah.
We know they are not working together.
Because she was like, he thinks he controls events, but actually I do. Okay.
We know that Liandrin, when she met, what was her name? The lady, the Shan-Chen lady, Suroth or something?
Yes, High Lady Suroth.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So she said, our master.
Yes.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Clearly referring to Baalzamon.
Okay.
I think.
That makes sense.
That's what made sense. So, if Lanfear has found out sort of what Baalzamon is doing with these Black Aja...
Okay.
And she also somehow knows what these girls are doing, hunting the Black Aja, she might be trying to help them...
Whoa, okay.
No.
Okay.
Not to out the Black Aja, but to foil Baalzamon. Not just to fuck him over, but for some bigger plan that she has.
Okay, because we can kind of assume, like, the Forsaken work on a high level.
She wanted Rand to blow the horn for glory.
Because she wants Rand.
She wants Rand, and so if Rand is going to Tyr right now to get the sword that's not a sword.
Yeah.
Right?
Kalendor.
That's where he's going.
Yeah.
And we know that Baalzamon... I don't know, was trying to like stop Rand from doing stuff.
We don't really know. It kind of seems like
we haven't seen Baalzamon really yet this book since.
We haven't, but we do know that a bunch of people who look like Rand got murdered.
Yes.
We found that out.
Right. So if
Baalzamon's trying to like get Rand killed, is the Black Aja going to
and then we saw the black friend White Cloak, whose message from the Murdral was kill Rand.
Yes.
Or your family dies.
Jacob Carradine.
And all his family's dead.
And he's like caught in the limbo because it's been months
because I don't think Rand's dead.
Oh my god, okay.
But if Lanfear wants these boys to have glory...
Yeah.
And be like on her side...
Okay.
Maybe she wants to help Rand get that sword...
That's just crazy enough that it might make sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I can kind of see where you're coming from here.
And I'm just piecing... Like, I didn't think about that when I was reading it, but now since we're having this discussion...
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it.
So in my mind, now I'm just trying to, like, kind of fill in the blanks
for... Because why would Lanfear have anything to do with Liandrin and the Dark Friends when she clearly said to Matt... Those idiots who follow Baalzamon?
She did say that. So here's just kind of like piecing this all together. So you think that Lanfear is setting the girls up not to trap them, but to be like, hey, idiots, they're all going to Tyr.
Yeah.
And Lanfear is the kind of person who would be like, these girls are morons.
Yes.
And I need to put 13 pieces of books and scraps of paper to point them to Tyr to make sure that they actually go.
Yeah.
The reverse of that is like, is there too much evidence to be like, oh, it's definitely not Tyr?
And they're sending them to Tyr as some sort of trap.
Okay, yeah. So then so if Rand is going to Tyr, Lanfear wants to like...
I just don't believe...
foil Baalzamon's plans with the Black Aja who are going to Tyr. So is Liandrin and the 13 are they going to Tyr?
Maybe. I don't think that this is their stuff. And I don't think...
Okay, it makes sense that the garbage isn't theirs.
Yeah.
What do you mean, Aes Sedai?
Yeah. I don't think that... What I mean by that is I don't think that these scraps of paper were just like accidentally left behind.
It does seem all contrived.
By these 13 people.
Yeah, it for sure seems contrived, especially if Lanfear is
whether or not they're actually going to Tyr, I don't know what the Liandrin and the Black Aja are doing, but it does seem like
Lanfear's
involved.
Okay.
And she wants these girls to go to Tyr.
Yeah, it's just so funny because
that's like literally the bottom line, and I don't know why.
So how frustrating would it be for Lanfear if she puts all this evidence because she thinks the girls are idiots,
and they're like, it's a trap.
It can't be Tyr. It has to be Ilion.
Yeah.
Let's go the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So that would be frustrating for Lanfear, probably.
Probably.
But it seems like they're like, Tyr is the place to be. So.
Okay. So. Anyway, so it looks like it's either a diversion or bait or a trap or literally nothing. But they go back and forth, arguing basically about this. And Nynaeve goes, burn me! Which is a shock because she never uses such vulgar language.
Yikes. Yeah.
And then...
put the earmuffs on, kids.
Yeah, they like go back and forth like crazy because they have no idea what to make of all of this.
Yeah. The issue is that they're still like, oh, the Amyrlin. Yes. Yeah.
The Amyrlin, and then also they legitimately think that all of these Black Aja ladies have left this piece of information behind. Yeah. So they think it's left behind by Black Aja, where I think it is not.
It's left by like Lanfear to be
I don't think
go
that
here.
Liandrin and the Black Aja have to do with Lanfear. It just doesn't, like, that
they're working on the same side, but they're not working on the same side. Yeah, they're working for the Dark One, but they're not working for Baalzamon and Land. Like, they're two distinct, Yeah. Kind of like,
Well, I was going to say car dealerships.
Yeah.
They both work for Toyota, but they're competing.
They're different, dealerships. So, like, different franchises, so.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But Egwene says that maybe they will know something after tonight, referring to her going into the dream world.
Ooh.
And Nynaeve packs up all the Tyr clues and says that we have to go, though, because we're going to be late to the kitchens.
Yeah.
And that's the end of this chapter.
That was a lot.
It was quite a bit.
It's good. And I appreciate the things that you're piecing together. I gotta say that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad for these conversations because I don't think I would have pieced that piece together without this conversation.
But that's the thing. That's the critical analysis of like looking at whose high level plan are we actually looking at.
Right.
Like, what is the end game here?
Yeah.
So, like,
and the fact that they aren't dead in the second basement right now.
And they totally should be.
I
like,
know.
they should have gotten killed.
Or like back to the Shanchen.
Yeah. Oh man. Like if and then we can kind of say like Lanfear isn't necessarily out for blood. Because if she wanted the girls dead, she could just like walk into their room and murder them somehow.
Yeah, the fact that she's literally just walking around the White Tower, like...
and she's like going, go away.
Yeah. Yeah, and just like being seen when she wants to be seen and not being seen. Like she's just like wandering around.
That's pretty
plotting,
crazy.
Doing her planning.
When you're talking about like power levels of like the Forsaken Lanfear is walking around the halls of the White Tower, which is like the home base of the Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
And she's like
she's
doing
literally
stuff.
Just strolling around, and people just think she's an Aes Sedai there.
Crazy.
It is actually nuts.
Yeah.
I'm having a little bit more respect for her. Remember
Yeah.
how I said how I don't like, you know...
You don't like dumb Celine.
I don't like
She's
dumb
like ditzy.
Celine who's like pretending not to be who she actually is, and I didn't buy it.
You like the devious...
I like Lanfear.
Yeah, I mean, she's a great character.
She's kind of badass.
She is, absolutely. I'm all on board Lanfear. Like,
she's way smarter than literally everyone we've met, except maybe Moiraine.
Ooh, okay.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's like Nynaeve and Egwene and Elaine.
Who are so stupid right now.
They're young. They are young. They're young.
I know, but...
They're like 20 years into their lives, and Lanfear is like a 3,000-year-old Forsaken.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, if my 30-year-old self went and talked to my 20-year-old self, I'd be disappointed in myself probably. But like that's the whole thing is like a little bit of time.
Wait, your 20-year-old self would be disappointed with your 30-year-old self for being
think,
so lame?
I think both ways. They'd be disappointed for different reasons. But like that's kind of the thing. Is like time and experience makes a difference.
Yeah.
So
okay. I'm into it.
Here's a funny question for you I had to put down here. So when Nynaeve creates the power crowbar.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Because, like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
She knows how to do it. Like, she saw it being done.
She did it.
But then when she breaks the lock, super easy because Egwene did something, she falls backwards, basically, and the crowbar clatters to the floor. Which
so
sounds like it leaves her hands.
Yeah.
So my question is, like, it seems like her power crowbar she made isn't, like, attached to her physical body. Could she make a weapon and give it to somebody?
I guess. Like, what happened to it afterwards?
Well, then afterwards, she, like, let it go after the fact. After
the
lock was
but
broken.
if she stays connected to it...
Could she give someone, like, a power weapon?
Yeah.
To, like, use?
Sure.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
Just a thought. I just wanted to it was kind of funny. Because, like, that's what Nynaeve knows how to do, is use tools to, like, break stuff.
Okay, I didn't peek at the next chapter.
Yes. Oh, you're gonna love this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you gonna tell me?
Yeah, it's called Teleran Riyadh.
Oh, Dream World.
Oh yeah,
chapter.
we're getting a dream sequence.
We're literally in the next...
We're doing it. Yeah, we're continuing.
Why would we even bother to find out what anyone else is doing in the world?
Here's the thing. We are pretty sure that Rand is running from the mountains where he was to Tyr.
Yeah.
Across the friggin' continent.
Yeah. And we get no information about it?
Except killing dogs.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
There you go. There's a lot of time to kill. He's got a ways to go.
I know, but then what about the ones who are following him, and what are they up to? And
let me just tell you this. I think that
what's Min up to? I want to see Min and where she is on her journey.
That's true. One thing I will say is the next time you see Rand, you're going to love it.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm
going to love it no matter what, because it'll be different than what's happening.
We'll talk about that when we get there.
Am I going to actually hate it? Is that why?
Maybe. I
don't know. No.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, I'm excited to read on and officially say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett with Vince Lewick, Scott Williams, Passion Socks, Mozyme, Michelle O'Brien, Derek Benton, Benjamin, and Derek Schluter, with music by Audionautics.com. If you'd like bonus content, like bonus episodes, outtakes, Q&As, more fun Wheel of Time talk, early access, cool stickers and keychains, and also to support us making great content, visit us at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitter at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. We love interacting with our listeners. Plus, don't forget to rate, subscribe, and tell a friend about us because referrals really are the best compliment. We'd really love for you to come over and join our Discord channel for some spoiler or spoiler-free discussions. You can find the links at our Twitter page as well as on our Patreon page. Thanks again for tuning in because this really is part of the pattern now.